Hello, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So here's what we have here. In our last episode, we were thinking about going to Ike, and I think it's possible. And you know, it's cool, I just loaded up the game again, and I noticed that the maneuver node that I had placed is still there. That's definitely a new thing, because if I had placed a maneuver node in a previous episode of this game, or a previous version of this game, that would have definitely been gone, but it's still there. And, well, we're going to try to make this work here, so let's go ahead and fly this mission here. Now, I think we're going to have enough fuel to get to Ike. Oh, there she is. I'm pretty sure we'll have enough fuel to get all the way to Ike and then back home again. Because thankfully, Ike is not nearly as far from Duna as, say, the moon is from Kerbal. It's a mere 289 meters per second cost to get there, and that gets us in a nice 25-kilometer orbit, that's perfect. That's basically what we want to do. So I think I'm going to make the executive decision here and decide that we're going. We're going to Ike. I mean, that's what the original mission goal was. I wanted to get to Ike and Duna, so we're going to go ahead and fulfill that goal. So all I gotta do is just find my maneuver node. It's floating around somewhere. You know, I used to have the enhanced navball mod in prior versions of this game, but I didn't install it on this one. But here's the node. Basically what that mod used to do was kind of show like a ghosted node around the edges of the ball, so you could see which direction to move your craft in. You wouldn't have to guess, basically. It was kind of, you know, if you were like sort of new and you didn't know what you were doing, like me sometimes, it was good for you to see. Anyways, that's coming up in 21 minutes and it's going to cost $289, so we'll just circle around this big, beautiful red thing known as Duna. So the plan is, I'm going to try to pick a spot on Ike where where Duna is at least on the horizon. Because if you're on Ike or Duna, the other body will not move at all. So for example, if you're on Ike, the Duna will never sort of rise, so to speak. It'll always just stay in one spot. So we want to pick a spot. Okay. Almost went past the node there. So it's going to take 58 seconds. I will burn approximately 30 seconds. And that should get us there. Here we go. Pushing the craft. Out to Ike, the little moon that's in a perfect geosynchronous orbit. And that's why it always shows the same face, Duna. It's also tidally locked, so it's tidally locked and geosynchronous. Which is probably incredibly rare for a moon to be naturally in a geosynchronous orbit around its host planet. But I'm sure somewhere out there in the vastness of the universe that does occur somewhere. I mean, it's just statistically plausible, right? Pardon me if I clear my throat a lot. Again, I'm coming down with something. That always seems to be the case. I always like come down with a cold right when I want to record. Okay. There we have it. So we're all out of fuel in this tank, but we do have the fuel left in these little canisters here that should hopefully, you know, do the trick for us. 32. I'm just gonna reverse with RCS just to get it down. That's probably good right there. Okay. And as you can see, we're hitting it practically right along the plane. So we're not going to have to adjust that at all. The ascending node is 0.1. That's fine. That's perfect. So we'll just make our fling ourselves out there. See you later, Duna. Say hello to Ike. Which will very soon be... Ooh. That's interesting. Is it saying that we're going to get an automatic capture? That was weird. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, there we go. That was strange. I'm not sure why it did that. But anyways, let's let's close this orbit up. So it's relatively circular. Alright. We're just gonna find that node now. Now I'm hoping we don't use all the fuel in this lander. I'm going to hope that we can save at least some of it to dump back in these fuel tanks here. I am getting a little worried about our fuel, but I think we're going to be okay. As long as I don't screw up. Alright, we're coming in here. Ooh, you know what? We should do some science. Don't forget the science. Let's do the crew report from out here. Space high over Ike. There appears to be some steep rocky slopes. The higher areas are lighter in color and the lowlands appear to be dark gray. So we'll send that back. How many goos do we got left? One goo here. And one goo here. I want to save one for the surface. I think what I'll do is... Yeah, we definitely used up most of our goo. I'm going to do one goo in low orbit, and then I'm going to do a goo on the surface. And then, of course, I'll save the other Science Junior for the surface. But let's do an EVA. There's Jib. 56 Science from high over Ike. Brilliant. Alright. Let's move in. Burn is coming up in 10 minutes. We enter the dark side, or the far side, rather. Very nice. Ooh, look at that sunrise. That is nice. Might just take a picture of that. That looks very good. So we'll burn at about 15, maybe 16 seconds. Just to close up this orbit. Here we go. There it goes, bending around. Slowing ourselves down. There we have it. Let's just check. 28 by 31. 28 by 30. That's pretty close. I think we'll leave it at that. Yeah. For sure. Okay, fuel check. We're getting low. Alright. We've got our orbit. Let's do another round of science. Crew report. Near Ike. Good, that's what we want. We'll transmit that. There it goes. Back to Kerbin. Somehow it's shooting it off that way and it's getting to Kerbin. Jeb, you're up again for another near Ike. 56 science. We'll store that data. Okay. Oh yes, and we're going to do a goo from low orbit on Ike. 70 science. Keep it. Alright. Let me just check. we're all fueled up here. I don't think it'll take nearly as much delta V to get down and back. We might be able to even put some back into here. Who do we have in there right now? We've got, I think it's Jeb and Bob, if I'm not mistaken. I think Bill is piloting this thing. Yeah, or... yes, Bill is piloting this thing. That's fine. Alright, next we want to pick a good spot. It looks like, unfortunately, that right now Duna is on the dark side of Ike. So what I think I might do is attempt to warp this thing around so that Duna is facing like the light side. Because I really don't want to land on the dark side, so this is going to require a bit of time warping. So I'm going to switch to this. Again, if you need to time warp, switch to like a flag or something. And this way you can kind of zoom it as fast as you can. Let's see. We just want like basically this face of Ike to be in the sun, so it's got to be basically on the opposite side. It's getting there. Slowly but surely. There. That's good. So we can switch back to our thingy here. Perfect, and we're going to want to land somewhere basically on this side where we are right now. But let's do this first. Let's go ahead and undock the ship, and we'll just RCS away. And again, we'll put this ship in a north-facing attitude here. The ship moves so much more fluidly without that big clunky lander attached to it. I wish we could just ditch this damn thing when we get back home again, but alas. Okay. See you later. We'll be back. Hopefully we'll be back. And let's just close up the docking port. There we go. So let's pick where we want to land. We're gonna have to unfortunately make another orbit, but that's okay. So we'll put a node in here, and we'll just kind of do something like this. Something like, just about like that. This way we'll be facing Duna, just because it looks so cool when you do that. That's only going to take 47. That's nothing, really. So let's get this thing lined up for that. Oh, there it is over there. We just got to circle around. There's the command module floating away. Moving over. Just going to manually activate this engine here. There we go. Perfect. Just so we're ready. Again, it's not going to tell us how long, but I'm going to guess it's going to take less than 15 seconds. That's my guess. Could be totally wrong, but who knows. Alright, so Duna has already risen. That is so cool. What I might do is just actually move it back a little bit, because I like it when it's kind of on the horizon. Looks kind of neat when it's like that. This way our burn time just pushes up. Okay, let's just do a test. It's gonna take 2 seconds. Okay. So let's wait a little longer. We've already pushed ourselves back towards the ship again. Good thing we're not in any position to crash into it, thankfully. We'll just get that thing right down. And there, it's It's gonna go sailing overhead. I like to make sound effects. Oh, how cool. That's another screenshot right there. Alright, so we'll bring our legs out. Lovely landing legs. And this time we don't have to worry about bringing these panels in because there's no atmosphere here, there's no drag. So it's not really going to screw anything up. And I'm going to put this on surface view so we can see. There are no biomes on Ike or Duna yet. I'm sure at some point they will put them on there, but for now we don't get any biomes. That's okay, it's just like less to worry about really, in my opinion. We're going to sail right over this little hump here, which is I think that. Or maybe it was that. Hard to tell. It is a little rocky on this world. Definitely a little rocky. That's okay. You know, let's just brake right now. We don't need to come down over any like crazy slopes. So do something like this. Hopefully we don't hit any slopes. That would be quite sad, wouldn't it? About 3,000 meters up. There goes the ship up in orbit. Just doing little bursts just to brake ever so slightly. Thousand meters up. We can really start decelerating now. 800. Basically coming straight down now. Just looking at my speed, looking at my retrograde marker. Looking at my altitude. Here we come. And that is it, folks. That is how you do that. Oh, beautiful. Look at that sight. It's another wonderful sight right there. Alright. Let's do our crew report. Ike surface. Transmit coordinates. You know what I forgot to do on Duna? I'm such an idiot. I forgot to do all these little science things. We could do them on Ike, perhaps. Yeah, temperature scan from Ike's surface. 64 science, I'll take it. Let's do the seismic. Gathered precise acceleration data while subjecting the vessel to this situation. 160 from that. We can't use the barometer because, yeah, there's no atmosphere. So let's see, what else? We gotta do the goo from Ike. We get 80. And the materials bay. 200. One of the samples has reacted very strangely to the surface of Ike. Well, we got a couple contract complete. We successfully explored Ike. Sweet. We got data from the surface, and we landed. That's it, folks. We got both of those contracts completed. But no time to celebrate yet. Now we have a 1.2 million Kerbal credits. That's pretty awesome. But they had no cause to celebrate yet. We have to get home yet, and I'm a little bit worried about the fuel, to be honest with you. If we can save like at least maybe 25% of this fuel, I'd feel a little bit better. So I'm going to try to be very, very careful on our scent burn once we re-rendezvous with the ship. Let's just get these guys out of here. Let's do a EVA. Wonder if it'll do that trick. Space near Ike. Probably not. Yep, that's okay. You know, Jeb was the first on Duna. I'm gonna have Bob be the first on Ike. And poor Bill, I guess I should have switched him. Poor Bill is just gonna see everything from orbit. He won't get to go down. Up. Nice one, Bob. So let's do a gravity check here. Whee! That's about, it's about the same as the moon. The regular moon from Kerbin's moon. Let's put a flag. Put that flag down. Bob's like the moon explorer. Bob on Ike. Excellent. Surface sample. Dark black soil has an almost crystalline structure. It's fun to play with. He gets 240 for that. And the EVA, you look at the sky and see something zip past. Maybe that's our spacecraft. I'm not sure. But let's switch over and let's get Jebediah. Let's get good old Jeb. Maybe he'll come down a little more gracefully. Yeah, Jeb's a little more graceful today than Bob was. There's Jeb on the surface. Let's get a nice screenshot with the two guys. I think that looks really nice. Something like that. That might be the thumbnail. Let's just take a look. We got some interesting things happen here. Like, let's see. The sun is moving, but there's Duna just sitting there. Got a little eclipse going on here. We have been eclipsed by Duna. Even though it still looks bright. Now the real magic happens when the sun comes around on this side, and you can see Duna all nice and lit up. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Isn't that freaky? Like, it just floats there. It doesn't move. It's not bound by... Oh, look at that! There's our spacecraft zipping overhead. Look. There she goes. Right overhead. Alright. So, there comes the sun. And there comes our guy zipping around again. Oh, how cool. That looks awesome right there. Isn't it cool? Let me try to get a screenshot with that in there. That looks cool too. That might be the screenshot. Who knows? Anyways, I'm like dicking around here. And we can get it in full view too. Ah, how cool. There it is, everybody. There it is. And that is the reason that you want to come to Ike. Just for that right there. What an awesome view. What an awesome, awesome place to be. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of these guys. But anyway, I think we'll end that episode right here. So stay tuned for the next episode, and we're going to try to get these guys out of here and back up to their normal spacecraft. We'll do a little rendezvous, and we're going to start planning our trip home. Which, keep your fingers crossed for that one, guys. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.